So I think it's a great opportunity for us to go over and put on a really good performance. I think France is always a team that likes to play, and so are we. So I think it's going to be a great game. We know that we need to go there and put an 8-minute performance on for us to have a chance to win that game. I think with how we played in the autumn and how France played in the autumn, it's going to be a great game. So we aren't daunted by going over France. We're looking at it as a real good opportunity.
What do you think the strength of the French team is at the moment? What do you think are their kind of main weapons in their armoury?
Yeah, I think they're certainly, from what we can make out and from the stats, they're certainly playing a bit more expansive game than they have in the past. I think they've always usually got a strong scrum, they've got a strong line-out drive, which we know about, but also they've got some really good backs. Teddy Thomas is a real good player. Huget on the wing is an exciting player that's got some Bastero in the backs, which are strong carriers. But they're certainly trying to play a wider type of game, and we'll need to be shutting that down for us to have a chance of winning.
It's interesting you're talking about the line-out drive there, because we see that in a lot of rugby, especially when the line-out drive's is close into the line.
Yeah.
How do you defend that? What's the kind of first principles for defending an attacking line-out in each tier line?
Well, I think the first part of any good defence is knowing your opposition, so having a really good analysis of where they drive, what part in the line out do they drive. I think that's the first part of it. Second part of it is you want to destroy that drive before it gets going. It's no good kind of waiting for them to get it down, get it set and get going before you get your heads in. So I think you've got to always get the initiative there, get the front pot down, and then work your way through. And probably from a technical point of view, you're just getting your spines in line, get your heads underneath them, so if you're lower than them, they've got less opportunity to get through you. So I think all those things, I know today we're spending a bit of time on the line-out drive, attack and defence. So we'll be getting those principles in place, and we've spoken about it, and our forwards coach, Jonathan Humphries, is a very good coach in that regard, so he'll be looking at that.
How you talk about them having a slightly more expansive game, but also when they're close in and attacking tight in, they can be threatening as well. So how do you get that balance between covering the wide areas but also looking at coming through the middle?
It's a tough one. I think what teams in attack are trying to do is, by playing quite close and with their big guys, tends to suck your defensive line in. But listen, what we try to do conversely in defence is basically you get your line speed up, so you don't let them get momentum. You get a good double tackle in, which slows up their ball. You either turn the ball over or slow it down, which then gives you a good fold, which then gives you a good width, so when they do release their backs or go wide, that you have a good line. So defence is all about having a good cycle. If you've got a good tackle, gives you a good fold, gives you a good line speed. So if one of those things are out, you don't get a good defence. But if you have all of those principles in place and you do that well, the next part goes well. So it's a bit of a cycle. So we practice on all those three kind of elements there. So that's what the aim of defence is. It doesn't always work out that way, but you hope that it does. And I think in the autumn we defended reasonably well. We kept Tonga trialless, which is a really good achievement for an international team. I think it was New Zealand, we had 2 tries, and for one of the best probably attacking teams in the world, that wasn't too bad. We stopped them playing in many regards. And then Argentina, unfortunately, we kind of took the foot off the gas defensively, and we had a few discipline problems right at the end, which allowed them to gain a couple of tries, which was disappointing. But I think overall we did a reasonable job in the autumn defensively.